Hi, my name is Jan Chen. Today I have lost my job. What a terrible day. Why is it so unlucky? It seems that I will have to work as a taxi driver again. Okay, no matter how difficult it is, my life continues. Hello, the driver. There's a new order at a distance of 1 kilometer from you. The order was accepted. Please head at the specified address. I come across a lot of strange passengers. Each passenger has its own story. Hello, my name is Jan Chen. I arrived in your place, he said on the phone. I still wear makeup. It will take at least 20 minutes. Then this amazing event happened, and I meet with the system. Communication with the user was successful, and my life has changed a lot. But there are still people who do not like me. Obviously, you do not know how to drive and are also too slow. I put you a bad review and complain, and I'll also call the police to be arrested for dangerous driving. Bad review. Congratulations to the owner on the implementation of a mission based on negative reviews. The system awards the owner of the financial company. Please go to the company's office tomorrow to get the necessary documents. What? What it is? Order is completed successfully. The god of investments and artistic talent. I become the best of the best. Hello, Mr. Yang. The girls in short skirts bowed low. Hello. Return to your work. I will become the king of the world. Greetings on the pages of this wonderful manga. A huge sunny day is greeted by a huge building created from concrete and glass. This is Sin Lun, the financial building of the city of Yin. Zhang Jignan. I myself planned this project. So why can't I make my name and get commission? The young guy in the luxurious office of his boss was surprised in surprise. Isn't it clear? All that you do belong to the company, and this company is listening to me, the boss answered with an arrogant voice. He fell apart in his soft chair and lit a cigarette. Logical, isn't it? He added. The young guy clenched his fists with hatred with such force that they were already white. Then I am an idiot since continuing to work for this company. He was indignant and rushed away from this office. He returned to his workplace and began to collect all his personal belongings. Jan Chen, don't be so impulsive. You still do not know what power Mr. Zhang has. I tried to support him, one of the employees. If you lose your job, what will your girlfriend do to take care of your paralyzed father? The second employee asked. Jan took a photo in the frame and looked at her with love. He had big changes, but he did not intend to stop. Before death, my parents left me a house and a car. I'm going to work as a driver until I find anything else. He answered with confidence. And he went to the exit from this office building. He went down to the underground parking and just remained to put a box of things into the car. But at this very moment, his mobile phone was distracted. A notification came to a popular messenger, Jan Chen. Let's part. You cannot give me this life that I want. We will let each other out of different worlds. I am leaving my dream and I can't wait for you. He immediately called back, but in response, he heard only the voice of the answering machine. Sorry, the typed number is not available. He was furious. What a terrible day. Why this is happening to me. He barely restrained tears and anger. Okay, no matter how difficult it is, life continues. He gathered all his strength and firmly decided that he controls his emotions and not them. The candlelight dinner ordered for the evening should not be an abyss. He thought he ordered for his girlfriend. The trace of this came to the phone. Hello, the driver. There is a new order from you. The order is accepted. Please get to the specified place as soon as possible. He confirmed the order on his phone and hit the road. His car with a squeal left the underground parking. It seems to me that this is due to a special coating of concrete, as a result of which such a specific sound is obtained. Hello, I arrived at the specified address, he informed the client. What already? I just applied the cream. Could you wait another 20 minutes? She asked. So why are you making an order so early? Can't you make makeup and go down before calling a taxi? He asked with surprise. I almost finished. Give me half an hour and everything will be ready. If you note the order, then the complaint, she answered indignantly. Do fuck what you want, I cancel the order. He took out the phone and began to understand the application how to cancel the order. A notification arrived immediately. You received a complaint from the client. I have never seen such a terrible driver. The driver shouted to passengers and canceled my order. That hell, only this was not enough. He was indignant. At that moment, something unexpected happened. The space inside the car was lit up with bright white light. From this, pupils narrowed to an incredibly tiny size. What's happening? Who are you? He was surprised. A girl of extraordinary beauty stuck in front of him. Her outfit was not like an office option. He emphasized his long legs and lush chest. A host is discovered. The conditions for the connection are fulfilled. A reward for a bad review. The system wants to connect to the host. Please confirm yes or no. The beauty with green eyes answered. What a hell. I have never heard that there is a reward for bad reviews, he answered, trying to understand what was happening here. The system can reward you as soon as the binding is confirmed, as well as every time you receive a bad review, there will be a reward. The awards will be different. It can be money, ability, luxurious cars, or other skills. The beauty said politely, "Isn't it cheats? So why do I doubt it? Connect soon," he shouted to himself. The connection was successful, and the beauty kissed him with her tender lips. He clearly did not expect such confirmation. The system of bad reviews recommends getting bad reviews from passengers who look strange or unpleasantly behaving. Although you can still provide a good service and receive good reviews to save your driver's rating, she added. Since the owner received a complaint, the system gave the owner 28% of the shares of the company, All Island Hotel Group, and he became the second largest shareholder of the hotel group. The owner is invited to the hotel, after which you will be sent an agreement on the transfer of a share of shares. The beauty added, "The system is so powerful that immediately after binding, it sends you a big gift." He was surprised. "Hello, the driver. A new order was received. Distance 1.2 kilometers from your hotel, All Island. This order was created for me." He was surprised so that I could go to the All Island Hotel and pick up an agreement on receipt of shares. Of course, the order is accepted. Jan Chen quickly reached the point of appointment. "Hello. Are you a passenger with an order number 8043? He will clarify. "Yes, it's me," the high beauty answered. He, like a gentleman, opened the door to the lady and helped her get into the car. The door slammed softly, and the driver began to go smoothly. The car raced in the extreme left row of a loaded avenue. The sun shone very brightly. "Why do you continue to peep in the mirror after me?" In surprise, the passenger asked, named Vanjai. "Beauty, do you not know how to drive?" "I do not look at you, but at the road behind the car," Jan Chen calmly answered. "You! How dare you insult me that I do not know how to drive? Obviously you are not experienced and also slow." She was indignant. Jan Chen understood her indignation literally. It was the accelerator pedal. The car instantly began to gain speed. "What are you doing?" She was indignant. She began to look for her eyes and hands, for which you can grab and stay in an armchair. "Brother, I was wrong. Please, Slowmane," she began to pray. "Brother, dear brother, I'm really wrong. She begged. "Sino, please, I'm scared." She clung to the handle with both hands and asked to slow down a little. "Only if we do not get into an accident, you can leave here alive. But I can let you go if you call me Dad," Jan Chen said sternly. He did not leave the girl any choice. "Dad, Daddy," all scared in tears, continued to speak. "Ha ha ha, good girl," he praised, and then he stopped accelerating. He rearranged his leg on the brake pedal, and the car began to slowly slow down. "We arrived at the All Island Hotel. You can go out," the arrogantly answered Jan Chen. "You are a bastard. Just wait. I will leave you a bad review and complain, and then call the police to be arrested for dangerous driving." The girl in tears hurried to get out of the car. A notification came. "Congratulations to the owner of the mission based on negative reviews. The system rewards the owners of the financial company, Sin Lun. Please go to the company's office tomorrow to get a letter about the transfer, a certificate for real estate, and other documents." A financial company is the same company where I used to work. Now I can settle the problem with this bald bastard. He was delighted. A moment later, Jan Ming had already entered the reception of the All Island Hotel. In the same place, he met an indignant client. "How dare you follow me?" She was indignant, trying to call the police at the reception. "Girl, your father has long taken his place here," he answered joyfully. "Mr. Yang, your place at the table is 8. Our employees will take you there," the administrator answered politely. "By the way, here is another document that our manager wanted to convey to you, so save it. The documents indicate an agreement on the receipt of shares. I spend you to your table," the administrator answered politely. "Even if I misunderstood you, I will never forgive you." The client that he had just brought to, it was drawn to the ordered table, and immediately brought a cup of aromatic coffee. "Mr. Yang, please wait, your food will soon be ready." After a couple of minutes, the same client passed by him, named Van Zhang, whom he brought. Her young body, magnificent breasts, and beautiful hips attracted her eyes. "Hello, you are Mr. Zhang Long?" she asked politely. "Yes, I'm Zhang Lun, and you are Mrs. Van Zhang?" the young man asked. Yang Chen watched this, and it seemed to him that it looked like a date blindly. He continued to enjoy his fragrant coffee and watch what was happening around. After a minute, an elderly man named Mr. Li, accompanied by 2 young girls, entered the room. The girl in a red dress was called Chen Xin, and the beauty in short shorts and white t-shirts, Zhao Feithi. What a coincidence, thought Yan Chen. Li, brother, I just saw a friend. I'll go say hello, the Chen Blue said politely. Jan Chen, but you go too far. You and Zhao Feifi have already broken up. Are you here to interfere with us? Chen Blue asked. I am not so low. I am not interested in girls like you. If you are not ashamed to spend all day with a man at this age, I feel sorry for your parents. Jan Chen sternly answered, You're just a scoundrel. The girl in a red dress was indignant. She clearly did not expect such an answer. Chen Blue, did something happen? Mr. Li asked, who heard the indignation of his companion. Li's brother, everything is in order. You go. I'll go soon. Chen Xin tried to control the situation, but she did not succeed. Is everything all right? I see that you don't have a conversation. Man, who are you? Mr. Li sternly asked, straightening his gold watch. I am a former guy Fei. Today we broke up. When did you sleep off? Are you lovers? Jan Chen calmly asked. Fei, baby, is he telling the truth? Mr. Li turned to the girl and asked her. No, I torn with him for a long time. Only he was against it. I really torn with him, but I did not expect him to follow me in the All-Island Hotel. He intimidates me. Faithy answered, and even tried to squeeze out a tear for more believability. Faithy, baby, be smart. This is not your fault. You do not need to be upset because of him. I'll deal with him. Mr. Li tried to console the sales bitch. Young man, the fact that you are attached to my girlfriend annoying me, immediately said Mr. Li by approaching the table where Jan Chen was sitting. Waiter, call the manager. I need to talk to him. Mr. Li turned to the waitress. Well, 1 minute, she answered quickly. Yan Chen, why don't you leave here? You will have trouble. Fei Fei gained courage and decided to independently drive away the guy. This guy is so eccentric. The situation has come to the point that you cannot get out. Van Jiang watched with interest the situation. Miss Van, do you know this person? He asked the guy who came to her meeting. I do not know him. He was a taxi driver on which I came here. She answered. He had a terrible character. He almost killed me and forced me to call him daddy before he allowed me to leave. I got out of the car and immediately left him a bad review. She added, What? How did he dare to behave like that? Miss Van, wait. I will teach him a lesson. The young man instantly got up from the table. He also headed for the table, where Yan Zhen drank coffee. Mr. Zhang, don't be so impulsive, Mrs. Van reassured him. Brother, Miss Van just arrived in your taxi. You mocked her, is that true? Mr. Zhang sternly asked. Yes, everything is correct. Do you have any problems? Jan Chen calmly answered. Probably he will not be allowed to calmly drink coffee. My name is Zhang Long. I am on a date with Miss Van. If you apologize to her right now, I will spare you. Otherwise, I will order you to throw you out of here, he said sternly. Who is your father? Jan Chen calmly asked. He was so calm that he completely enjoyed the taste and aroma of hot coffee. My dad is Tianvu Investment. He is going to invest in All-Island Hotel Group. If I ask them to put you on the blacklist, they will not dare to say no, Mr. Zhang proudly answered. Okay, let's see how you will succeed, said Jan Chen. He is in this hotel for only a few minutes, and so many things have happened. Is it really a coincidence? It is interesting what will happen next. At that moment, someone's quick steps were heard, and someone was clearly in a hurry to say something important. Mister, why didn't you tell me in advance that you would come for dinner? The young man who had just ran away asked. Isn't that Mr. Zhang? What a great day for our hotel. The guy was delighted. Today is my girlfriend's birthday. We decided to have dinner here, but the ex-guy molested her girlfriend. Because of this, we could not eat calmly. I hope you get rid of him, Mr. Li said indignantly. I came on a date, but this guy mocked my companion. I also want the manager to get rid of him, Mr. Zhang added. The impression is that his lips were trembling. Who could be so reckless as to offend you of two? The manager was surprised. It is he! At the same time, Mr. Li and Mr. Zhang said, and synchronously turned towards the table, behind which Yan Chen was sitting. Isn't this a new shareholder that the board of directors has just announced? The manager was surprised. The guards came out, returned from here, these two bastards. And in the future, do not let them into our hotel, the manager ordered. Manager, have I heard you correctly? I am a supplier of products for your hotel. Mr. Li was indignant. Manager, do you still want to get investments from our family? Mr. Zhang was indignant. This is Mr. Jan Chen, the second largest shareholder of our hotel group All-Island. The manager polite introduced him. I see that you know your business well, added by Jan Chen. What the heck? Is this the second shareholder? Mr. Li was surprised. In surprise, even his hair rose on his bald head. How did the second shareholder of the All Island Hotel be driving a taxi? Is he really a rich man? It is not surprising that he speaks so arrogantly. I noticed Miss Van. Mr. Lee, in the future we will not need your help, and Zheng Long, we do not need your investment either. Protecting these guys, said Jian Chen. Here's a fool. What did I think when I broke up with him? What should I do? I wonder if it is too late to ask him for forgiveness, Fei Fei thought. Jian Chen, I know that I was wrong. I did not have sex with him, I completely belong to you. Fei Fei with tears rushed to her knees and began to speak all sorts of nonsense. Jian Chen, this Fei Fei is a terrible woman who loves only money. Look at me, I'm still clean. The girl in a red dress joined her. Are these two women start a fight among themselves? I was surprised by Jian Chen. Mr. Yang, I did not know that Fei Fei was your girlfriend. Otherwise, I would not dare to conflict with you. Mr. Lee at least somehow tried to correct his situation. He sharply placed a cup of coffee on the table, so the roar dug up throughout the restaurant room. Manager, why are these people still here? Jian Chen asked sternly. I understood you. Protection. Rather convince them from here, the manager instantly ordered. Jian Chen, let me explain! The girl screamed in a red dress. Mr. Yang, I was mistaken. Mr. Lee apologized. This is Zhang Lun, the son of the chairman of Tainum Investment, the manager said quickly. Why do we need their investments? While I'm here, we do not need them. What are you afraid of? Asked Jian Chen. Security, get rid of him. Also, bring it to the blacklist and never let him come to our hotel group, the manager ordered. Do not dare to touch me. The second shareholder of the All Island Hotel is not what we would pay attention to in Tainum Investment. Zhang was indignant. Miss Van, let's have dinner elsewhere, added Mr. Zhang. It looks like he liked Miss Van. Then I will steal her and see how you will be proud of yourself, thought Jian Chen. Miss Van, Jian Chen politely turned to a young girl. He tore off the delicate flower and handed it to her. I prepared flowers. Why don't you sit down and chat? He asked. It seems earlier I scared you with my jokes in the car. I would like to apologize for that. But Young Chen added politely, since this date is blindly with rich people, is not better to choose someone more influential? Miss Van thought. Well, I will give you a chance to make amends. She answered playfully and accepted his invitation. Van Zhang, do you understand what you are doing? I fucking enlightened with him because of you. Why do you insult me like that? Mr. Zhang was indignant. You did this not for me, but for your own face. I did not ask you to touch Yan, she added. Of course, just a few minutes ago she complained that he was very scared by her in a taxi. Okay, let's say I can't touch him, but I can hit you, right? If you dare to sit down and have dinner with him, you will have trouble. Mr. Zhang began to threaten. At that moment, Jian Chen gently put his hand on her shoulder and said, Everything is in order, do not worry. Miss Van, you can sit quietly and eat. And if this annoying fly will interfere with you, I will get rid of it, added Yan Chen. Oh, you bitch! Zhang was indignant and already waved his hand to strike. From myself, I can only add that a man who raises a hand on a woman is just a weakness and insignificance. Jian Chen, with a quick movement, caught his hand and blocked the blow. How dare you drink a woman? He asked. Protection! Urgently throw out this garbage from our restaurant, the manager quickly ordered. Today, the guard has a cheerful day. They were already waiting at the ready. Who else to throw out? I will not spare you. I will return to my father and tell him everything. Just wait. Mr. Zhang continued to be indignant. Jian Chen opened a bottle of red wine and carefully filled it with a glass, after which he handed it to a beautiful girl. Miss Van, let's officially meet you. My name is Jian Chen, he added politely. My name is Van Zhang. I will delete a bad review, and we can start our communication first. The girl seemed to blossom. Ha ha ha, you don't need to do this. Let a bad review become a reminder of our feature. Let's drink for acquaintance, added by Jian Chen. They hit the glasses, and the delicate ringing of crystal spread throughout the restaurant. Is this the arrogance of the rich? He asked for a date with a girl who started a fight with him. It's good when there is money. I noticed a couple who sat nearby. What does your family do? Miss Van has already relaxed a little and decided to put questions. My parents died many years ago and now I'm a taxi driver, and you? Jian Chen calmly answered. I am from the city of Su. Now I work in a luxurious store. Since I want to stay in this city, I have to go on a date in blind, she added. Each person has the right to strive for a better life. A woman is not ashamed to rely on a man. Compared to Fei Fei, this Van Jiang is a very sincere girl, Chen thought. Right, let's drink. She supported his words and offered to roll one more. Do you know why I was so prejudiced against you when I got into the car? The wine was already beginning to act and the girl continued to ask questions. Today I had 2 dates blindly. The guy I met earlier was pretty cute, but he tried to kiss me while we were in the cinema. It's outrageous, added Miss Van. I think you just didn't like him. If you liked him, you would not mind. I noticed Yang. No. It does not depend on how a person looks. Who generally kisses at the first meeting? She was surprised. The kiss has nothing to do with your first meeting. It all depends on the atmosphere and sensations. You can do even more things while there is a suitable atmosphere, added Yang. I do not believe in it, like someone may want to kiss at the first meeting. She was surprised. Jan Chen took it as a challenge. He instantly got up, just a few confident steps, and he came close to this beauty. With his hand, he pressed himself against the gentle chin of a young beauty, and after a moment he kissed her. His delicate kiss was mutual. He showed no pressure on the girl. Bon appetit. Write down on my account. I go to rest in number 1280, he added calmly. He just kissed me. Why didn't I resist? The girl was surprised. Did he specifically call the room number? Does he invite me? I feel so ashamed. What am I thinking about? Oh, as unexpectedly, you and I see a sign of the same hotel room called Jan Chen. And here he himself just came out of the shower. From him and blows freshness. Someone knocked on the door. Who could be? Was surprised by Jan Chen. He opened the door and stood Miss Van in front of him as unexpectedly. Van Jiang, it's you. He did not have time to finish his phrase, as the girl pressed against him and they merged in a passionate kiss. Timidly said the girl. I'm so hot, she added, and her hand had already felt for solid nipples. Yeah, you're just drunk, immediately noticed Jan Chen. What is this? 8 cubes of the press. I feel them with my own hands. I can't do anything with myself, she added. Don't blame me. You started it yourself, Yang answered politely, and grabbed her in his arms. Jan Chen deftly slammed the door with his foot. He was still an acrobat, so that with a girl in her arms he waving his feet. He carried her to the bed, and they continued to kiss. While you were considering how they kiss, I drew attention to the fact that he left the shower with a white towel, and now he has black. Write in the comments under the video. Have you noticed this or not? They were completely naked and already moved to a gentle bedspread. How nice it is to cling to a large and elastic breast on the one hand and a firm cube of the press on the other side. History is silent how much sex they had per night. The morning rays of the sun made their way through the curtains. Jan Chen opened his eyes and found that he was alone on a large, spacious bed. Did she leave? He thought. He became from the bed and still wiped his eyes because he was rather sleepy after a rather active night. While he got out of bed, the blanket moved a little and he found a strange spot of red on the sheet. Is it really what I think? Maybe this girl was a virgin? The stream of thoughts attacked his sleepy head. At that moment, he noticed money and a note on the nightstand. He carefully launched a note. You worked well last night. I was very pleased. Money on the table is your service fee. Do not go anywhere in this month. Gain strength. And when they pay me next month, I will return to lay you overnight. Oh, this girl is quite interesting and mysterious. And also on damn sexy, Yang thought. Some time passed, and we are observing a huge glass building that sparkled in the rays of the bright sun. This is a financial building, Sin Moon. Hello, my name is Jan Chen. I came to pick up my things. He politely turned to the administrator. Hello, Mr. Yang. I'm Chan Chiu, office manager. Wait a minute, I will prepare everything now. The new boss is so young, he must be a rich guy. One girl noticed. I wonder if there will be changes in the company, added the second. The guy was fussing, and after a moment he came running with a yellow envelope. Mr. Yang, all your documents are inside. You can check for if everything is in place. The manager added quickly. There is no need. I believe that the manager is a good person and will not deceive me. I need you to help me with the management of this company, said Yang. Of course, Mr. Yang. Girls, come up to say hello to Mr. Yan, the manager ordered. Hello, Mr. Yang. Girls in miniskirts bowed low. Okay, now return to work, said Yang. Tell me about the people who rented the 15th floor, I asked Yang. Good. 1 minute, added by the manager. His dexterous fingers instantly stuck on the keyboard keys, and after a moment he was ready to give an answer. Boss, this is information about the 15th floor rental. The tenant is called Zhang Jinan. His contract expires at the end of this month. The manager said, It so happened that their rental period is coming to an end, manager. Let's go and talk to him, Yang said politely. Just a couple of steps along the luxurious room of the office building, and they were already climbing the elevator to the 15th floor. Ding dong. While they went up in the elevator, the manager came to the phone. Mr. Yang, sorry, I have a call from the client about the rent. The manager said, You can answer him. I'll go first, added Yang. Ian passed through a large spacious corridor and was near the door with a Xinglong Finance sign. Hey guys, it seems that everything is in place, Yang Chen politely greeted. What? Is this Yang Chen again? They were surprised. Jan Chen, why did you quit? Let's go to Mr. Zhang and Li manager. I will talk to them to restore you to the position. He said his friend. Thank you, but no. Yang answered politely. Where is Zhang Xianan? Come here quickly! Stop hiding in the office! Yang shouted to the whole office. Jian Chen, why are you screaming? Do you know where you are? This is the place where you can scream? Mr. Zhang came up behind. Have you left? I thought you were too scared to go out. Do you have a commission that you owe me? Jan asked. Jian Chen, do you want a commission? This is great, but be a good boy and return to work. How about me to give you $10,000 for 10 months, provided that from this moment, you will conclude at least one transaction every month, Mr. Zhang asked. Why are you saying like a fart? You clearly promised 20% of the commission for a successful consideration of the case without any conditions, added Yang. Where is the proof? Are you just going to say that I said that? And if I say that you promised to work for me for free until the end of your life? Mr. Zhang laughed. Did all employees in the company hear this? Jan Chen asked sternly, addressing other employees. If anyone who heard I said that I am going to give commission? A bald head asked. No, Ian Chen must have heard you incorrectly, one of the cowardly employees answered. Does none of these dumbasses really know that my today can become their tomorrow? I was surprised by Jan Chen. Jan Chen, Mr. Zhang is unusually kind to you, so hurry up to thank Mr. Zhang and return to work, added the same cowardly employee. I like that you are talented. This is your only chance. Do not be so stupid. Return to work. I have to go downstairs and talk with the leadership about the extension of the lease. She said, a bald head. Do you think it is easy for me to support so many employees? Clouding the cigarette asked Mr. Zhang. Yes, we all should be grateful to Mr. Zhang, added the same cowardly employee. I came to work only to make money, but I can't even get the salary that I deserve. And you still want me to be grateful? Really no shame. And Jan turned on the record from the recorder a little earlier. Close the door right now, the bald head screamed. Yes, sir, I'm listening, 1 second, added an employee. The cowardly employee instantly ran to the door and closed it from the inside. Why did the door suddenly close? Nothing happened to the boss, right? The manager, who still talked with the client in the corridor, was surprised. Jan Chen, if you immediately delete the record, I will let you go, the bald head shouted sternly. Mr. Zhang, he's a bald head, furiously grabbed the nearest monitor, who came to his arm. In a rage, he smashed him to smithereens, right in the middle of the office. Everyone saw that you just broke our computer, so your salary was deducted, said Mr. Zhang. My record is still ongoing. I wrote down everything that you just said and did. Ian answered calmly. The phones have functions called cloud storage, don't you understand? Even if I delete data from my phone, they will still be saved, Ailey added Yang calmly. You are a bastard. How do you laugh? Mr. Zhang was indignant. I can add from myself that this was not a secret record, because he kept the phone in sight. Mr. Zhang, what's the point of talking to him? First and then destroy the record, added a cowardly employee, apparently just courageous to him. And in this instant, a bald head heard that someone was knocking on the door of the office room. Oh, Manager Chan, why did you personally come here? I was just about to go down to talk with you about the extension of the lease. Mr. Zhang answered in surprise. I'm here to see Mr. Yan. Why did you lock the door in the middle of the day? You did nothing with Mr. Yan, right? The manager asked. Mr. Yang. What other Mr. Yang? The surprise of the bald head knew no bounds. Isn't he worth it there? Mr. Yang is the new boss of our company, the manager added politely. What? Is he a new boss? The bald head continued to be surprised. Mr. Yang, what is happening here? Sorry, I was late. I should not answer this call. The manager apologized. I'm fine. Manager Chan, you came on time. Manager Chan, what do you mean when you say that he is a new boss? Specified by Mr. Zhang. Mr. Yang paid $2 billion for this building and is now its owner. Now he's disposed of here. Added by the manager. What the hell? Why then does he come here to work? What? Jan Chen actually spent $2 billion on this building. Yesterday he quit his job. And today to buy a building. Is that a gesture of revenge? Different thoughts spun in the head of the employees. Chan, manager, is it possible that you made a mistake and he just has the same name as your new boss? I decided to clarify the cowardly employee. What are you kidding? Do you really think that I don't even know who is the main one here? The manager asked indignantly. Do not be angry, Mr. Yang. You just misunderstood me. It is true that I must be punished, but what I did. A bald head began to apologize. How about me to double your salary and we will forget about it? He asked naively. Mr. Yang, what did you work here before? And he still owe you a salary? The manager was surprised. Yes, it's true, answered Yang. Yajan Zanyan, in our contract it is clearly written that we must act in good faith in accordance with the law. Otherwise we have the right to terminate the contract and demand a triple rent. I don't think you forgot this point, right? The manager Chan asked. Is there such a point? Then listen to this entry. As for me to give you $10,000 for 10 months, provided that from this moment you will conclude at least one transaction every month. Yang turned on the phone recorded. Mr. Yang, let the past remain in the past. I will pay you 3 times as many commission. You can delete the record, and the question will be settled. A bald head understood that her ass was about to tear. No, I just want what I have legal right. I do not want a penalty anymore. Ian answered calmly. Chan manager, I leave this issue at your discretion. You must make sure that I will be satisfied. You see, Ailey added Yang calmly. Do not worry, Mr. Yang, I will do everything in the best possible way. The manager supported him. They were about to leave, but a bald head blocked their way. Wait, Mr. Zhang said. Mr. Yang, I already recognize the defeat. Why do you want to get rid of me? You never know how life will turn. Mr. Zhang began to beg. I am a person who never leaves a way out to his enemy. And now get out of here. Jan Chen sternly answered. I want to discuss this. A bald head was indignant. Who are you to discuss this with me? Jan Chen sternly answered. Listen to everything. If you help me, you will get 50,000 yuan each. A bald head turned to employees. Employees decided to freeze and miss this proposal past the ears. 100,000 yuan to everyone. Just take the phone from him, and I will immediately reward you with 100,000 yuan in cash. Plus, I am your salary, added a bald head. Miserable Zhang? Do you still think that your words still deserve confidence? You didn't even pay me a commission. Do you think that everyone here is so stupid? Asked John Chen. It's really funny. The manager Chan took his phone out of his pocket and decided to act, as he understood that now he would smell fried. Tell the protection of the building so that they immediately rise to the 15th floor. Added by the manager Chan. 10 minutes later, a crowd of people was already walking along the corridor of the office room. What's happening? Why did the manager Chan call us here? I have no idea. All the guards are also here. It seems like a bald head offended the manager of Chan. Young employees noticed. Come on, I'll see who dares to touch Mr. John. Strictly stated the manager Chan. A bald head realized that he was in a complete ass. He only had to become a handkerchief from his pocket and wipe it under his skull. Chan manager, I leave this at your discretion. I expect that you will make the right decision, said Yang. Do not worry, Mr. Yang. I'll take care that everything is done in the best for you. Jan Chen turned to the rest of the employees. Gentlemen, Zhang Jingnan no longer has power. Why don't you all return what you deserve? Otherwise, when he went bankrupt, you will not get anything. Zhang Jingnan often makes us work overtime and do not pay for it. Yes, he also makes us conclude dubious contracts. Employees began to be indignant. He often subtracts our salary for no reason. I always hated him but did not dare to resist, because I had to work under his beginning. I was indignant at a cowardly employee. Li Wen, do not dare to throw stones at me. Zhang was indignant. Now that Ian is here for the main thing, this is a great chance to convey to you, of course, I have to resist evil to the end. The cowardly employee continued to be indignant. Yes, this dog is really unstable, Yang thought, looking at this employee. Very little time passed, and the office of the financial company Sin Lun was blocked. On the doors appeared seals with the inscription sealed. Jan Chen, this will not get away with you. The bald head continued to bake. It's your fault. There are laws in this world. You can't do whatever you want only because you are a boss. Do you understand that? Added Yang. Attention to everyone. I'm going to open an advertising agency in this office. Does anyone want to make money here? Yan turned to the rest of the employees. Brother Yan, I and me too. The frightened employees began to shout joyfully. Li Wen, are you the wrong slave of Mr. Zhang? What is the point of taking you to your job? Get out of here. You are not happy here, added Yang. Mr. Yang, if I go with you to sue Mr. Zhang, can you accept me? The tears of the cowardly Li Wen began to pour. Even if you go and kill Zhang, I still will not accept you. There is no result from people like you. What is the point of hiring you to work? Jan asked. Get the hell out. And with a juicy kick under the ass, he drove off a cowardly employee. In a maximum of half a month, everyone will be able to return to work. From now on, the company will be transferred to Xu Xiaoli, so that everyone can turn directly to it if he has any problems. The time has come. Everyone just take a vacation. Wait for the notification to return to normal work. Added by Jan Chen. Boss, have you just appointed me a manager? But I have no experience, and in the end, I can ruin everything. Honestly, the girl answered, being inexperienced is absolutely normal when you are just starting to do something. Added by Jan Chen. Boss, do not worry. I will listen to you and study diligently, she answered joyfully. Let's all thank the boss. Thank you, boss. And the employees together bowed to the new boss. Goodbye, boss. See you soon. They said goodbye and went to do each of their own business. Jan Chen went to the underground parking, where his car was parked. Here I have already finished. It's time to get to work, Yang Chun thought, approaching his car. A moment later, a notification came to the phone. A new order has appeared at a distance of 500 m from you. Forward. Like a boy, he was delighted. And the car with a screech left the parking. Just a few minutes, he drove up to the place to complete the order. He saw a couple of a girl and some man. Young woman? Looks like Van Lixen, my girlfriend from college. This cannot be a coincidence? Surprised by Jan Chen. When he drove closer, he became convinced that it was really she. Passengers got into the car. Jan Chen, is it really you? I did not expect to see you. The girl was surprised. Do you walk with your boyfriend? Jan Chen asked politely. This is my boyfriend, Zhang Jiangkun. Damn, who comes up with these names? Zhang, this driver is my classmate at the University of Jianchen. But at that time, he was the best student of our university. Not to mention how beautiful he is. The girl politely said. So, he was very popular among girls? He immediately asked. Yes, many girls liked him. It's a pity that he already has a girlfriend, the girl politely said. By the way, you haven't parted yet? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant how far you have advanced now. Are you going to marry, right? She asked. No, we parted. And Jan Chen crushed the gas pedal, and the car began to accelerate. It is a pity that you refused so many girls for her. And now you regret it, right? She continued. Yes, I refused you. What is the point of raising this question now? Jan Chen asked in surprise. I did not mean it. I have to thank you. If you had not publicly rejected me, wouldn't I have lived with you a miserable life now? She said. Did this guy humiliate you? Zhang asked. Yes. I was 19 years old when I confessed to him love. He could just reject me, but he decided to humiliate me. She continued her story. So much time has passed that I have already forgotten. If I said something wrong, I apologize. Jan Chen answered politely. Seeing that you are so sincere, our company does not have enough staff, usually responsible for serving tea and cleaning. Why don't you stop driving a car and go to my company? Zhang asked. True, Zhang is a Heiyun advertising campaign planning. If you go to work, I can ask him to take care of you, she added joyfully. No thanks. I like working in online taxi. I do not need official work, Ian answered calmly. Why are you opening the window? Close it and turn on the air conditioner. It's hot here, as in hell, she asked. The order did not indicate the mandatory inclusion of the air conditioner. You can tell me a couple of affectionate words, and I will turn on your air conditioner. Or you can turn it on it yourself, answered Yang. How dare you say so? If you had not been familiar with her, then I would have had a long time to get off you. Turn on the air conditioner right now. Do not make me do it. Zhang was indignant. Do not be impulsive. He is behind the wheel of a car. If you distract him, we can get into an accident, this vile chicken added immediately. Jan Chen, we are old friends. Now turn on the air conditioner and I will pretend that nothing happened. Otherwise, I put you a bad review and complain, she added proudly. Do not think that you can scare me with a bad review. If you don't like it, you can go out, Ian answered calmly. Stop right now! Zhang was already burning from Jean. Jan immediately fulfilled their request, and the car instantly stopped. Now get out of the car. Zhang left the car and began to beat the driver's door. No, I will stay in the car, and you continue to enjoy the summer sun, Ian answered calmly. Where are you going to stop right now? Zhang shouted in the middle of a huge bridge. As you know, this is a bridge over a large river, and in order to hide in the shade on any shore, you need to go a decent distance. Zhang, where are we? She asked with surprise. This is a bridge over the river. Here the stop is prohibited here. We cannot call a taxi right here. What should we do then? Zhang took his phone out of his pocket. I will file a complaint against him! Let him be fired! He continued to be indignant. For a system notification, you have a new bad review. Congratulations to the owner on a poor review. The system rewards the owner with 2 million. It must be nice, in such heat, to be on the bridge. Yang thought about his indignant passengers. Messages began to come to the phone from his acquaintances. Today I went outside and called a taxi. There I met Jan Chen, but he threw me out of the car on the bridge. Yan Chen, are you settled again with a taxi driver? Jan Chen, what happened? Have you not worked for some company before? Perhaps he had some difficulties. Or he may just took a break in his work for a while. I quit my job a few days ago. Now I work in an online taxi. If you are ashamed that you are familiar with me, pretend that you do not know me when you see the next time. He calmly answered in correspondence. I am sending an entry from the car to the support service as well as to the chat so that you hear it, he added. Mournful messages began to come in correspondence. Van Lixen, is it worried that he is a taxi driver? Do you need to feel your superiority before him? Van Lixen, you obviously look at him for the fact that he drives a taxi and deliberately humiliated him. You are a bad person. He posted a record in a chat of classmates, and now everyone is accusing me. She continued to be indignant. Walking under the hot sun along the bridge. I'm going to kill him. Send him a message that you invite him to a party to the Hing Hotel this Sunday to lure. So I'm going to put it in a bad light in front of your whole class, Jiang added. You are so smart. Let's do it. Van Lixen was delighted. Van Lixen wants to invite me to dinner at Hing Hotel and apologize. Surprised by Jan Chen. It depends on whether I will be in a good mood that day, he answered. Today is a wonderful sunny day, Van Lixen, and that guy must still have fun on the bridge. Hello. The car you called has arrived at your place, he called politely. How should I get there in such rain? Come here after me, the client answered. Then just wait there. I will come after you, added Yang. He grabbed an umbrella, and despite the heavy rain, he went to help his client. Are you Miss Zhang? He asked, making his way through a storm curtain. Sorry, there's so much water on Earth that I can't follow it, the client snorted. Sorry, I have no services for the disabled, Yang answered indignantly. He just fled here in the rain to hide the client under his umbrella, and she also asks him to take her to the car. Look at my new shoes. Do you know how expensive they are? There is so much water on Earth. What should I do if I don't get wet? Many people will be happy to carry me in their arms, but I did not give them this chance. But you have this chance, she proudly stated. Forget this point. I can only give you an umbrella, and you yourself can reach, Ailey added Yang calmly. What a dumb you are. She was indignant and grabbed the umbrella from his hands. She went to the car on her own, and Jan was walking in the rain all this time. I am upset because of you. You will do it again and get a bad review, she added indignantly. Please fasten the seatbelt, the wet Yang answered. Some time passed and they arrived at the destination. We arrived, Polishly said Yang. I can't go out. There is too much water on Earth. I stain my shoes, the indignant client said. This is car, not an airplane. How can I drive closer? I was surprised by Yang. I don't care. You have to deliver me to the place or I will leave you a bad review. Believe me, I'm not joking with you. I will really complain about you, she added. Well then get out of the car and complain about me as much as you want, added Yang. I will not get out of the car until you get me up, she answered. I have a question. I wonder where such stupid clients are getting. Jan Chen took out the key from the ignition lock and got out of the car. Okay, just stay here as much as you want, he said and slammed the door of the car. I'm leaving for a snack. Goodbye, answered Yang. This time he was smarter and independently used his umbrella. Inhaled clients, there was no choice but to get out of the car. Just wait! I will sue you! She continued to be indignant. Large drops of rain eagerly dug into her lush black hair, and they spread a waterfall along her large chest. As soon as this impudent client left the car and began to poke around in her phone to leave a negative review, Jan Chen returned to the car. Ah, you are a bastard, she screamed when the car sprayed her with water from a puddle. In this world, there are always people who think that they have the right to a special relationship, Yang said joyfully. Jan checked his little thermos into which he poured hot tea. The thermos was absolutely empty. Damn, my tea was completely over, he noticed, taking out a thermos from the cup holder. Congratulations to the owner on receiving a bad review and complaint. The system rewards the owner of 50g of leaves of the maternal tree in Hung Pao. Please open the trunk and take out the award. I specifically Googled. It turns out this tea is damn rare and expensive, so we can say that this is a very expensive reward. This is a great system, once again noted by Jan Chen. and immediately slowed down to check the trunk. The reward is only 50G? Why so few? He asked in surprise. The owner you do not know, but this tea from the mother's tree and Hung Pao are more expensive than gold. She answered. The initial price of an auction for 10G exceeded $200,000, and now this is a rarity that they cannot buy even for money. So expensive. Yang was surprised. He still continued to feel very surprised. He chose in his free place and went to check his trunk. Dear subscribers, and your favorite spectators, which of you have already determined what kind of car he has? Write in the comments. It's very interesting for me to know your opinion. Opening the trunk, he really found a box of tea there. $10,000 for each small package of 1 gram. He was surprised. It smells so tasty. I have 50 packages. Let's try one. He was delighted. A new notice has come. The owner received another bad review. Available bonus. The owner receives a villa in Benjiang. The request to stay at home. The courier will bring you documents for property, keys, and everything you need. Villa in Benjiang is a coastal district. Its approximate cost is about $500 million. I wonder who gave me a bad review. Very tasty. He set his little thermos and was about to leave. Suddenly, a girl approached the car. The girl was dressed in a beautiful black dress, and she had luxurious hair of a dark red hue. What are you doing, beauty? He asked the girl who got into his car. Driver, your money. She took out a pack of bills from her handbag and handed the driver. I'm not a driver, but an online car rental service. You need to place an order on the platform. You can get out of the car and transfer to another, he answered. What nonsense! Just drive the car when they tell you. The girl began to be indignant. Today I want to ride your car, she added. At this time, some strange type approached the car. His outfit and tattered slate obviously did not inspire confidence. Hey, open the door! This type began to scream in the driver's window. Do not open. I warn you, if you dare to open the door, I wipe you to death, the girl said. Do you know him? Jan asked. No, I don't know. The girl answered immediately. Are you familiar with each other? Ian opened the window and asked it in incomprehensible type. Certainly, she is my girlfriend. He screamed in incomprehensible type, as if he would abduct the most valuable now. I'm not your girlfriend. Today we first met on a date blindly when I managed to become your girlfriend. She was indignant. Blind date? Vanciani, your father owes my family $5 million money, and your father used you to pay off the debt. Why do you pretend to be so stupid? I booked a hotel, did not spoil my mood. For the evening, a glorious sex was planned for the evening. Have you heard that? We are not in relations. If you pass me to him, you will become an accomplice of rape, she said. This has nothing to do with you, so open the door and go out for good. The incomprehensible type continued to be indignant. Beauty, why don't you call the police? I am just an online taxi driver, and I do not want to get involved in a fight between you, Ely added Yang calmly. But the situation continued to heated. Why are you so calm? You are just a moron! There is no benefit from you at all! She continued to be indignant. It feels like she had to spark from her eyes now. Shouldn't your father be the most disgusting? I have nothing to do with you, and I do not have to protect you. If you want, I can call the police for you, he added. An incomprehensible type began to beat the car with his flabby slate. Come out, bitch, to whom he said, he continued to insist. Go away immediately! She screamed all over the car. Brother, please do me a favor and save me, okay? She began to beg for help. Seriously, just call the police. That you behave like a little girl. Yang was indignant. I would like to call the police, but even if it reaches the police, my family has no money to return it. She said it was already more polite. Bitch, well, come out or I will kill you right in the car. An incomprehensible type nevertheless opened the door of the car and grabbed the girl by the hair. Brother, we'll open the door and let me get into the car. Let's go to the suburbs. I will let you play with her after I finish it myself. He proposed an incomprehensible type. Ian was already decently fucked up to listen to it. He inserted the key into the ignition lock and started the car. What are you doing? If you dare to pick her up, I will find you and kill you, even if I have to search the whole city, declared an incomprehensible type. What difference does it make to me who you are? Ely added Yang calmly, and crushed the gas pedal. The machine started moving. Oh, you bastard! Come back here! Catching up, the car continued to scream an incomprehensible type, spanning with his slippers in the middle of the evening city. Just wait, you will get from me now. He took out his ignition keys and was ready to go in pursuit. Thank you, you are a wonderful person, she answered politely. The car calmly rolled around the night city. It is useless to make me compliments. You are not interesting to me. I will plant you nearby, and you yourself can get home on another taxi, answered Yang. At that moment, they were cut by a black car. Most likely, it was the same incomprehensible type. Stop! I warn you. I will kill you. Threats continued to pour in the direction of Jian Chen. Brother, he catches up. You should not stop now, otherwise both of us are the end. Suddenly, the passenger realized. Jian Chen. He grabbed the wheel tighter and crushed the gas pedal. He began to move away from the persecution of this incomprehensible person. The type is incomprehensible. It lost control and its car was damaged. Ha ha ha, here's a sucker, he just broke his car. The girls were delighted. Get out of the car right now, Yang sternly said, and demanded that his passenger leave at the nearest stop. Now I give you a great chance if you take me home. I will give you my first time in sex. You are still better than this bastard, she proudly stated. Why do I have the feeling that you think you live in a fairy tale? Get out of the car immediately, strictly asked Yang. Oh, you are a coward and a bastard. The girl opened the door and continued to be indignant like an old woman. Oh, you are a bastard, she screamed after the leaving car. Dear viewers, write in the comments what would you do in this situation? I am very interested in your opinion. Jian Chen understood that he had more important things to do. He went to his new villa. Arriving at the right address, he saw the luxurious villa of Bunjiang. Mr. Yang, now you are the owner of this luxurious villa. Here are the keys, and everything else is in this envelope. I will take you to the villa after you park your car, the guy said in a black suit. They went into the spacious living room. The walls were decorated with marble slabs. The floor sparkled with its purity. Great, I just need to bring something from clothes, added Yang. A moment later, the phone rang. Jan took it out of his pocket and answered the incoming call. Hello? Is this Mr. Jian Chen? I am the secretary of All Island Hotel Group, so that you come to a meeting at the headquarters of the All Island Hotel at 15 o'clock. Okay, I understand. See you, answered Yang. We are met by the luxurious building of the All Island Hotel. Sorry for being late, Jian Chen said politely. Hello, my name is Jian Chen. For us it is a great honor to meet you, dear shareholders. Hello, Mr. Yang, you can sit here. I did not expect that our new second shareholder would be so young. I thought he was an old grunt. I want to imagine you. This is Van Hun, the chairman of the All Island Hotel Group. And this is Zhang Wu, the Sky Curtain investment boss. And the theme of our meeting is the investment of Sky Curtain in All Island Hotel. The guy added in a strict black suit. Sky Curtain investments? Yang Chen thought for what they are needed. Maybe someone is going to raise the dough on this. Now that we all know each other, let's get to the point, Mr. Yang. I know everything about what happened between you and the son of Mr. Zhang at the hotel. Mr. Zhang is here too. Why don't you drink? Mr. Li asked. I hope Mr. Yang will not be offended by the ignorance of our children. Mr. Zhang politely said, You know that your son behaved quite sharply that day? He insulted me so much and you want me to just forgive him? Jian Chen was indignant. Zhang, for the sake of our promising future, you must give in. You should call your son and ask him to sincerely apologize to Mr. Yan, added Mr. Li. But my son did nothing wrong. He stood up for his girlfriend when they mocked her. Why should he apologize? Zhang was indignant. Mr. Li, are there any other issues that will be discussed at today's meeting, besides Sky Curtain investment? Jan asked. No more questions, Mr. Li answered. Then let me clarify my attitude to all of you. I disagree with the investment of Sky Curtain to the Hotel All Island, said Yang. I still have business, so I went. He politely said goodbye. Mr. Yang, how are you already leaving? The rest were surprised. He calmly went out, and goodbye slammed the door. He is too toxic. I am here. Who wants to invest your money in your hotel? Why are you bothering me? Why don't you try to please me instead? Why should I endure this? Mr. Zhang was indignant. Do not be angry, Mr. Zhang. Young people are all a little angry. I will talk to them later, and you should return and discuss it with your son. Mr. Li noticed. I mean, if you can solve the problem with an apology, why not do it? He added. Okay, I'll be back and talk to my son, Zhang the elder answered. Jian Chen went down to the underground parking and was already approaching his car. Finally, I found you. Suddenly from behind, he heard whose voice it was. Didn't expect us to meet so soon? As you managed to notice, it was the same incomprehensible type. He changed a little and took several girlfriends with him and metal baseball bats. How did you get here? This is a closed parking, only for the company's employees. Surprised by Jian Chen. I told you the last time, if you take it, I will find you anywhere. Did you think I am joking with you? He asked, an incomprehensible type. Well, what are you planning to do? Do you really want to fight me? Ian asked immediately.
Do not worry, I will have time to figure it out. But now I will break your car, declared an incomprehensible type.
This bastard, with their girlfriends, began to wave baseball bats and circle the car. Jan Chen simply took out the phone from his pocket and began to shoot it on the video. You do not have to shoot it, I can afford to pay for it. If you do not have a car, you cannot earn a living, added an incomprehensible type. At that moment, a red foreign car stopped near them. Dear viewers, we continue the quiz. Write in the comments who recognized the brand of this car. The red foreign car stopped. The door opened, and a girl with long hair of a dark red shade came out of it, which we have already seen before.
How small this world is. Zhang Henji, what are you doing? What are you crazy? She asked strictly.
Why did you break his car? I promised to stay with you tonight, isn't it? She continued to speak strictly. Of course, I just wanted to do something, he added. I'm just going to spoil the guy's mood because he broke my heart. Of course I apologize, but where such a bastard has a heart? You led to a taxi driver. How can you cost so cheap? I'm going to kill you tonight, he said with anger in his voice. Fucking shame, Zhang Henji. My family owes only money to your family. Or do you think I would look at you again if I had money? The beauty was indignant. At that moment, another guy came to the parking. How did you offend him? He asked. This is a long story what brought you here. The meeting has already ended? Jan asked. My dad told me to apologize to you. Otherwise you would not have approved the capital of our family in Lebanon, said Zhang the Younger. Haha. This act was clearly made by Jan Chen. Is your family very rich? Quietly asked Yang. Of course, our family has a total asset of $1 billion, answered Zhang the Younger. So you know him? Yang clarified. I know that his family has several real estate companies in which our family has invested. Zhang Jr. answered. You want my forgiveness, right? Then do something for me, Yang Chen said politely. What do you want? Zhang the youngest was surprised. Let's make a deal. You will lend money to this girl Van Xianini to pay her debts, and in return, I will allow you to invest in All Island Hotel Group, suggested by Yang. Why didn't you borrow her money? After all, you have a 28% shares of the All Island Hotel, the cost of which is more than $3 billion. Do you feel sorry for these $50 million? Zhang Jr. asked. I still work in a taxi. Don't you understand what this means? Jan Chen answered cheerfully. Are you from some secret family that does not allow you to be published? Just using this money, added Zhang the Younger. Shh, speak quieter, said Yang. It is clear that you can just ask her father to bring someone to our office tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning to discuss the details, said Zhang the Younger. Miss Van, bring someone to Sky Curtian tomorrow at 9 a.m. to discuss the details of the debt with him. And Mr. Zhang, the president of Sky Curtian, has already agreed to this, said Jan Chen. If you go there, it will help you a lot in this situation, said Jan Chen. I will do so! You finally understood this! I thought I could not attract you with my long legs! She rushed into his arms and wrapped her legs around. Why is your family lending money to her family? Are you playing me? He asked an incomprehensible type with a baseball bat. I have nothing against you. He's just the second largest shareholder of the All Island Hotel. We have been working on investing in All Island Hotel Group for more than a year. We cannot afford to lose it. Zhang the youngest spread his hands. What? Can't be. Is this taxi driver actually the second shareholder of the All Island Hotel Group? He was surprised. Don't you see what is happening? A whisper asked Zhang the Younger. Damn it. He must be the son of a rich family who wants to experience life. He was surprised from these words he had a bat from his hands. What should we do? Have you contacted the young master of a large family? You asked us to break his car. His assistants began to drink. He nervously took out a pack of cigarettes, his fingers cowardly from fear. You are the second shareholder of the All Island Hotel Group. Why didn't you tell us this before? He asked. If you told me before, would I allow a big misunderstanding? He continued to speak with his voice full of fear. Do you think everything is so simple in this world? Surprised by Jan Chen. What's going on here? Which of you reported a crime? 2 police officers came running to the parking. This is me. My friend's car was broken, the girl said with great breasts. Comrade policeman, we broke the car, but he forced us to do it. Yes, if you have any questions, then it is better to ask him. The assistants immediately entered their pants. Tell me what is happening. Why are you breaking other people's cars? The police officer asked. My name is Zhang, or my father, Zhang Yaov, the chairman of the company Yaowu Group. This guy stole my girlfriend. Shouldn't I teach him a lesson? This guy is right. Are you ready to offer him compensation? The policeman asked. Compensation is possible, but only after a court decision. brazenly answered an incomprehensible type. Are you stupid? If after applying to the court will decide that this is not what can be corrected with the help of money, what will you do? Intentional damage to other people's property in the amount of over $5,000 meets the criteria of a criminal crime. You understand? The policeman was indignant. Yes, I don't care about it anyway. My father's name is Zhang Yaov, he added. I don't care who your father has committed a crime, deliberately damaging someone else's property. You think about how you are going to fix it, the policeman said. Well, I will offer to pay him for the car. I'm not so bad. Tell me, how much do I owe you? 100,000 yuan is enough? Did I say that I would agree to the private settlement of this issue? Let the court make a decision, said Jian Chen. If you think that 100,000 is not enough, what about 200,000? You had an old and broken car. This type continued to be indignant. It's not about money, I just want justice. Jian Chen calmly answered, pointing to his damaged car. Do you want to scare me? Are you initiating to do it? So what if I have a criminal record? I do not need work, I just get an inheritance, added this type. Then, you will have to come with us. The police twisted him and took him with them. After some time, everyone gathered in the negotiation room. This is a masculine, Zhang Yaov, the father of that incomprehensible type. He came to agree with you about the damaged car. He said as police officer. Man, you want a lot, Zhang Yaov said indignantly. You two are really the same. I'm not going to settle this business with him or you. I'm going to go to court, said Jian Chen. 500,000 yuan? It would be enough? The elderly man asked. His face began to be distorted from anger and anger. I said that it was not about money, Jian Chen calmly answered. 1 million? More and cannot be. If not for the critical times for the company, do you really think that I would talk so well with you? Officer, can I leave? Jian Chen asked politely. Yes, you do not agree to mediation. We will follow the legal process of this case, added a police officer. The police officer handed him a form for submitting an application. Wait, don't sign it. Be a man, let's meet at another time. You are still young, do not spoil your future path, added an elderly man. Have you finished saying all nonsense? Jian Chen grabbed his statement from his hands. Since I turned 15 years old, I have threatened a large number of creditors. And he signed a statement with confidence. Do you think your threat will work on me? In surprise, Jian Chen asked. See you in court, he added. You are a bastard, come back here right now. Clutching his teeth, said an elderly man. Very soon, Jian Chen was in the real estate department. Mr. Yang, here are your keys. Do you have any ideas about the price? The employee asked. No, I agree with the market value, Jian Chen answered joyfully. I did not quite understand what was happening here. He bought a house or sold it. Dear viewers, write in the comments as you understand this situation. We will understand together. The house will be transferred to you. Please call if you need something, said Yang. I have to buy the car as soon as possible. I cannot afford to put off the work by a taxi driver. Which car to buy? Thought Yan Chen. As soon as he thought about it, a new notice immediately came to his phone. I wonder what this time. The system found that the owner received another complaint. The launch of the bonus. The beautiful girl said in an interesting outfit. Maybe there is no girl at all? Maybe these are just his hallucinations? Great! Yang Chen was delighted. What do you think? Write your opinion in the comments. This story draws further and further than it continues. The wishes of the owner of the luxury car of a limited series, which looks like an ordinary serial car, which the owner can use to work in a taxi. The owner is asked to pick up the car from the underground garage. The girl pressed her breasts to him and said it in her ear. System, you are so caring, thanks. He was delighted. And the sweet girl handed him the keys to the car. Let's go home and rest, said Jian Chen. He returned to his villa. His villa was in a small cottage village, where the same luxurious villas were located nearby. It is so comfortable here. He settled down in the courtyard of his luxurious pitchfork. A comfortable rattan chair stood on the shore of a pond. The neighbors from the nearest villa carefully examined him. He was carefully examined by the owner of the neighboring villa. Girl with a glass of red wine or other red drink. Miss, dinner is ready, her servant said. I asked you to find out about the owner of that villa. Found out this? She asked. I asked the guard to find out who the new owner of this villa was young. He drove in the most ordinary car and did not at all resemble a rich man, answered the maid. Such a secretive? Maybe this is the son of one of the big families? The mistress of the villa asked. Aunt Lan, take 2 bottles of wine and pay him a visit. Do not ask him about life. Just let him know that we are in villa number 8. After some time, the woman called the intercom. Who you are? Jian Chen opened the door.
Hello, I am the number of the number 8, she answered politely. My host prepared a small gift and decided to say hello to our new neighbor. She added politely, "You are too kind. Could you tell me who your employer is?" Jian Chen asked politely. "Her name is Xue Yinon. I can ask what your name is, young gentleman?" she asked. "My name is Jian Chen. Very attentive. Go into the house and sit down," he added. "This is not necessary. My miss just asked me to come to visit. We are all neighbors. Just look after each other in the future," she answered politely. The girl was looking forward to returning to her assistant. "Aunt Lan, how did it go?" she asked right from the threshold. "He is really young, and besides, he has a good character. He must be the son of a large family. I left immediately after I presented a gift, and I am sure that in a short time he would definitely come with a return gift. Miss, you can wait and see it yourself." "Thank you, Aunt Lan. It's too late. Go rest," the mistress of the villa added politely. Jian Chen looked at his watch. On the clock, it was 10 o'clock in the evening. "It's too early to go to rest. You can go for a walk with a glass of wine," thought Jian Chen. This is what a real taxi driver means. He does not need a vacation in a luxurious villa. He only needs a steering wheel from a car and a night city. Already after a moment, his new black car, a well-known luxury of the brand, stopped near the cinema. Dear viewers, write in the comments who found out what kind of car it is. "Hello, your car has arrived. Fasten the seatbelt when you sit down," he politely said to his new passengers. "Cheese, I am a student at a financial university. Could you drive a hostel for girls to the entrance of the building until 10:30 p.m.? The girl asked touchingly. "Judging by the navigator, it is almost 15 kilometers. It will take about 20 minutes. It will be a little difficult," Jian Chen calmly answered. "Sir, please. My girlfriend's hostel will close at 10:30. Please, can you go faster?" her guy asked. In fact, he deliberately lingered, because he wanted his girlfriend to stay with him tonight. Maybe then they could go to the hotel and somersaults a little. "Well, I will do everything in my power. Hold on tight," answered Jian Chen and crushed the gas pedal. "Sir, thank you very much." A naive girl was delighted. "Sir, don't say too much," her boyfriend added. "If you cannot get to the hostel by 10:30, we will not only not pay you, but you will also have to take it away." Her boyfriend added, he clearly wanted sex. "What do you want to say that?" Surprised by his companion. "I scared him to go faster," he said quietly to his girlfriend. "Don't worry. Since I dared to promise, I will definitely do it. I'm also from this university. I know the way to him. I will take you there in 15 minutes and you will have time on time," added by Jian Chen. "What faculty are you from? What is your name?" "My name is Lin Xiao. I'm learning English." I never thought that by such a fall I would face a high school student. The girl was delighted. "My name is Jian Chen," he added. "You deviated from the initial route, paving a new route." At that moment, a notice from the voice assistant came. "M, where are you going? Why did you go astray from the previously laid route?" The guy with freckles on his face was surprised. Maybe these are tattoos, but still more like freckles. "If I go on the main road, you will not have time to return on time. You can save 5 minutes by choosing a short path, and I guarantee that I will get to the door of your hostel on time." Rukdem by Jian Chen. It seems that the older brother really knows all the roads here. "Then let me add my contacts to you. We will contact you directly when we need you in the future," she added. Her boyfriend was clearly dissatisfied with this. After a moment, the car stopped near the university hostel building. Jian Chen fulfilled his promise. The contented girl got out of the car and waved her hand to the watchman. "Aunt, wait, do not close, I'm going." "Thank you, older brother, goodbye," she politely said goodbye, and pleased went to her hostel. "Where do you need to deliver you?" he asked the guy who was left without sex that night. "I will make a second order, and you will accept it and continue the trip." This horseradish clearly conceived something. A new notice came to the phone. "You have a new bad review." Strange. I accepted only one order tonight, that the guy in the back row should be sent this review. Thanks to the owner for receiving another bad review. Depending on your strength, the system rewards the owner with real combat equipment, which comes into force immediately. What kind of military equipment is this? She has some kind of super lover. In surprise, Jian Chen thought. "Guy, what do you want to say that? Why did you leave me a bad review when I delivered your girlfriend in time? I did something wrong? You can tell me directly, not leave me a bad review." Yan Chen decided to clarify. "In the form of a car, and do not be distracted. I will explain to you later when we arrive." The guy answered. "Man, we arrived. Can you tell me why you left a bad review?" Once again asked Jian Chen. "Guys, approach. We are in place," he said to his mobile phone. "I said that this jerk was clearly planning something. Bastard! Get out of the car immediately! Get out of the car to whom they say, his acquaintances shouted, waving baseball bats.
Boy, what do you want to say? Jan Chen asked him in surprise. I really introduced with her the whole fucking day. Ate and drank and deliberately put it off until the last 15 minutes when I decided to go to the hotel with her. You said that you will not reach the hostel, right? How dared to cut the path and send it back? Now I have to have sex with my own hand. If you meet, why is it bothering you so this night? In addition, you got into the car and persuaded me to take it back, added Yang. This jerk got out of the car and began to beat it with his feet, already broke the mirror. You ruined my day! Get out of the car! He continued to scream. I have just mastered military equipment. I think I can cope with several bandits, Yang thought. Since you dared to get out of the car, then you have a little courage. Let's guys, we'll kill him quickly. One of the bandits said. This jerk with freckles already waved a baseball bat, wanted to hit him. Wait a minute, said Jan Chen. What else is it? He was surprised. You are afraid? Great, then kneel down and apologize to me, and I will spare you. We are still waiting for the opportunity to beat you. The guy with freckles or tattoos on his face in the form of freckles added, You know that it will not end with good for you if you do it under the video surveillance camera, right? Let's just go to where there is no light and struggle. You will not leave evidence if I am contacting the police after that, added by Jan Chen. Ha 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 ha, it seems you have come to terms with your fate. I joyfully noticed the type with freckles, and all the bandits we build followed by Jan Chen into a deaf and dark courtyard. After a couple of minutes, moans and screams echoed from this dark courtyard, obviously beaten someone. What do you think? Who beat whom? A few minutes later, several beaten men lay on the ground. Their baseball bats were broken. Jan Chen calmly came out from there. He knocked me down with one blow. You will be responsible for this, and you will have to pay all our medical expenses, one of the bandits said. It really hurts. The blow was too strong. How did I know that he was a master of martial arts? Wiping his snot added by the guy. Jan Chen his car and was about to leave, but a man was in his way. Hey, come here! Jan Chen called this jerk to him. No, just not that. I have already learned my lesson. You can't beat me anymore. What if you clog me to death? Idiot, I will not beat you, Jan Chen calmly answered. Okay, then what's the matter? He specified the guy with freckles. You owe me a new car, said Jan Chen. Yes, I understand. The guy with freckles agreed. As soon as he left, the same girl called him. Older brother, did you deliver my boyfriend? I will pay you the fare, she added. Better help your boyfriend with medical expenses. He called several bandits to beat me, but I beat them back. In addition, I will give you good advice. Part with your boyfriend. He is a good person to me. The guy with freckles hoped that this evening would end in a completely different way. But his meanness and cunning led to this result. At that moment, his phone rang. It is surprising that he still remained intact. Why did you want to beat our driver? His girlfriend called. You just met and flirt before my eyes. Did you think about what I feel? He was indignant at the telephone. I just hit him and that's it. You probably went crazy? The girl was clearly anger from his words. She understood that he was deceiving her. Oh shit. I will file a complaint against him? Then let's see what you will do. The guy with freckles continued to be indignant. A new notice came after a moment. The system found that another complaint appeared. I launch a system award. The owner receives the strengthening of the body. You need to say when you are ready for this process. Thanks to this complaint, for another excellent gift for me, thought Jan Chen. He returned to his villa and settled in his luxurious bed. System, start the strengthening of the body, he said. Strengthening the body of the owner begins. The whole process will last 7,749 seconds. Please do not interrupt this process. So that you do not count on the calculator for a long time, it is about 2 hours. We start the process of strengthening the body. Jan Chen felt his body enveloping powerful streams of energy. He was even a little excited. 7,749 seconds later, he woke up. Strengthening is completed and the owner can move freely. From now on, excluding the influence of external factors, such as weapons, the owner is the strongest person on Earth. Haha. From now on, the strongest person on Earth. Yang Chen was delighted. Why does it stink here? Surprised by Jan Chen. Is this the legendary cleansing of Meridian? Surprised by Jan Chen. The next day met him with a beautiful sunny morning. Fresh coolness called him to the morning run. What he decided to do. On a run, he met face to face with the mistress of a neighboring house. It turns out that it was a rather cute girl who also decided to run in the morning. Hello, you are Miss Big Tits. Oh, you Miss Shui, right? He asked. Yes. You must be Jan Chen from the neighboring villa, she answered. Yes, Miss Big Tits. Thank you for your gift. I really liked it. Like your chest, he answered. If you liked my gift, I'm very glad. Good luck in the morning training. See you, he added politely. Not bad for his son, and from a large family, he has a good character, she thought. I wonder what to give her in response, he thought. Oh yes, it'll be the same rare tea. I remembered Jan Chen of his gift. After some time, he called the neighboring villas at the doorbell. Ah, Mr. Yang, come in. The door was opened by a familiar woman. I did not want to come empty-handed, so I hold my big and thick bag in my hands. Dear subscribers, and you thought about... Therefore, I brought him to share with you, he said politely. Is it really tea? From the whole variety of gifts, he decided to draw some tea here, although maybe I'm mistaken and this is a very expensive tea. It is difficult to understand by this opaque package. Ah, Mr. Yang, is it really you? The mistress of the villa was delighted. Aunt Lan, treat Mr. Yan a wine, which I bought last week, and I finished my morning procedures and join you. I also do not mind getting close in the morning, she added. Monsieur, sorry for the invasion, added by Jan Chen. What would I like to share my tea with you, so why don't I cook it? The assistant asked. Well, then you need to boil water, the brilliant answer from Miss Big Tits, or were they going to eat tea dry? Aunt Lan, I will not drink. I need to hurry and pick up my car. Chen politely thanked her. Car? How does Mr. Yang make a living? Miss Big Tits asked. I work as a taxi driver. Goodbye to the baby. Didn't you know that all taxi drivers are so rich? Is he really an ordinary taxi driver? Maybe Mr. Yan Chen, not a rich person at all? Miss Shui thought. Miss Shui, what do you think this is for tea? The assistant looked into the bag and was a little surprised from what she saw. I wonder what kind of tea is this? I have not seen him and never sniffed him. Take these tea leaves to the old hung. Let him see what kind of tea it is, whether it is possible to drink it at all. Well, miss, I obey. I will now go to the old hung. Her assistant answered. How can a taxi driver afford a villa in such a luxurious village? He is such a demanding person, noticed Miss Big Tits. At this time, Jan Chen already rode around the city somewhere and arrived on a new order. A tall girl with very long legs and a short skirt already expected him. Hi, you called a taxi? He asked joyfully, dumping his left hand from the driver's window. Why did you move to such an ordinary car? You have to drive a sports car or something like that. The girl with long hair of a dark red shade asked. I hope you remembered this girl from previous chapters. Have my legs become longer and wider now that I am dressed up? She asked with a smile. At that moment, the idea came to his mind. Like a small bird whispered in the ear. Can't you talk? You can score 99 points if you do not speak, and only 59 points if you speak. Fasten the seatbelt, he answered with restraint. The girl was very surprised by such a cold answer. I booked a table in the Queen Mary's restaurant to invite you to dinner tonight, she added. Forget about this. I still need to pick up the car in the evening, he answered. Besides, do you not want to drink me and take me to the hotel to fuck well as last time? He specified. Ha ha, why not? You are so beautiful. I would still like to treat you with dinner to spend time with you, she added. I don't want to have dinner. With a short answer, he tried to quickly finish their conversation. I am so sweet, beautiful, and long-legged girl with great mind and thin waist, and you refuse when I invite you to dinner? Are you a man or not? After all, you have no problem with sexual orientation, isn't that? We arrived. He hit the brakes. Get out of the car if you don't want to say anything else, he added. Are you not at all interested in the girl? You really convince me that you are gay. She answered indignantly. Time runs at an incredible speed. As soon as he landed this preoccupied lady, a new order came to him. Hello? I arrived, he said calmly. Mr. Driver, I'm here. A frightened girl waved her hand to attract his attention rather. You won't go anywhere until you pay. Strictly said the type in a sports jacket. I just passed by, not even touched the bicycles. The girl answered indignantly. I parked here for 10 minutes, and until you were, they did not fall. Who are you deceiving? If you don't pay right now, I spark you, he said the type in a sports jacket. I'm not to blame that the bicycles have fallen and hit your car, the girl said with tears in her eyes. Would you like to go to the building in the neighborhood and turn on the video surveillance system to make sure what really happened? Jan Chen asked, and pointed to the observation camera that was nearby. True. We will learn this by watching the recordings from the surveillance cameras. The girl was delighted. Brother, I see that your car still has a temporary registration number, so it should be a new car. I noticed a type in a sports jacket. I advise you not to get into your business, or I will break your car in your face. He continued to be indignant. Hey, easier! Are you trying to extort money from her by force? Jan Chen immediately shed him. Such a high man should not intimidate a little girl. Polishly added by Jan Chen. What does this have to do with you? In surprise asked the type in a sports jacket. She ordered my taxi, so I hurry, and you only delay me. Let's see the surveillance cameras and we will solve everything, added by Jan Chen. What are you so stupid? I have already warned you, added a type and pulled out a baseball bat. Do you really think that I will not dare to break your car? He asked. If you can pay for its repair, then please, she is at your disposal, Jan Chen calmly answered. Ha ha ha! You have an ordinary cheap car. I can buy a lot. I noticed the type. Then break her, added Jan Chen. Do you think I will not dare to do it? He asked with anger in his eyes, and was about to roll his sleeves. Without drawing others into our affairs, added the girl. Do not stop him, added Jan Chen, and affectionately held the girl's hand. Just let him do what he wants. I already dealt with such bastards before. There is nothing new in this. Forgive me, please. What pulled you into it? The girl answered. Do not worry about it. Jan Chen gently hugged and reassured her. If I will not break your car today, I will always be ashamed of myself. The type in a sports jacket screamed, and he began to break the car with his baseball bat. What the hell is this? He was indignant, looking at the numbers of this car. It's good that I managed to notice this. Otherwise, I perhaps would have to pay more than I can afford for my whole life. Why did you stop? Come on, poorly added by Jan Chen. Brother, you misunderstood me, he said, and released a baseball bat from his hands. The wind probably turned the bicycles and they hit my car. It has nothing to do with this little girl. You can pick her up. The type in a sports jacket began to turn on the back. I thought you would be eternally proud of yourself if you break my car, completed Jan Chen. This is all my fault. You two, hurry up and leave. Do not waste your precious time. Sit down, said Jan Chen. Thanks, his schoolgirl thanked. Thank you very much. Without you, I would have a lot of trouble today, the schoolgirl said. Perhaps this is fate. If you hadn't ordered my car, I would not be able to help you. He answered calmly. Why this guy suddenly became so kind with you? She asked in surprise. I don't know. Maybe it was a sudden change of mood, Jan Chen answered cheerfully. We arrived a few minutes later. The car drove up to the large building. Brother, my name is Zhao Yun. What's your name? My neighbor invited me to dinner. Do you want to join us? She added. No thanks. Take time with her well. Jan Chen politely answered and said goodbye to her. Then please give me your phone number. I will call you the next time I need a car, added a schoolgirl. Well, I have not exchanged my contacts. Now this is happening simply by leaning two phones against each other. There is no need to dictate many numbers. The schoolgirl looked at the black car that left her. Something I was a little hungry, thought Jan Chen. Just a few minutes. His black car stopped near a pretty cafe. Miss, please accept my order, he asked politely. He sat down at a free table and was about to relax as the phone began to call in his pocket. This came a message from the schoolgirl that he brought before that. Brother Yang, have you already left? I am in room number 302. I should be mixed in the drink. Please help. Has this girl decided to blow in? He thought after he read this message. Without waiting for the execution of his order, he jumped in the car and immediately drove to this building, where he landed the schoolgirl. Miss, please go to room number 302 and check the situation inside. He turned to the administrator. Well, I'll check the sir now, she answered. Before the administrator had time to go to room number 302, Jan Chen noticed a familiar face. He saw how the two girls led him by the steps of his familiar schoolgirl. And there was some strange type in front. It seems that the request for help was not a joke, he thought. Let me go. I need to return to the hostel, the schoolgirl said. Well, we will take you to the hostel, the girls who led her answered. Jan Chen decided to intervene in this situation and knocked over a square chair to block their way. Damn it, you again? I can't believe that I will meet you here. Type was indignant. And you quickly freed yourself. I noticed Jan Chen. Shut up. Do not raise this topic. Get out to hell. I'm not going to contact you today, he said. If you have not yet understood, then this is the type that with his friends broke his car in the parking lot. The police took him at that time. Let's go. Girls, he said sternly. Stop. Jan Chen again blocked their way to the exit. Are you her neighbors in the room? What are you doing with her? Asked Jan Chen. You don't say nonsense. She just drank too much and we help her reach the hostel. One of the girls was indignant. Then why did she send me this anxious message? and Jan Chen showed a message on the phone. What? What it is? We all opened their mouths in surprise. In fact, her neighbor's in the room. She said one of the girls, and I am her boyfriend, and Zhao Yun is my girlfriend. This is all slander. The type was indignant. Then I will call the police and we will find out, I agree? Jan Chen already dialed the police number. It remained only to press the call button. Oh, you are a bastard. Do you intend to try to complicate everything? This type continued to be indignant. Just wait. I will make you regret it. He shouted and rushed to escape from this room. I have nothing to do with it. One of the girls left her and also hurried to go out. Zhao Yun, wake up. What's wrong with you? I wonder how they had drunk you. Jan Chen tried to bring her to her senses. Brother Jian, please take me from here, she said in a sleepy voice. Administrator, could you open a separate room for me? He asked politely. Yes, of course, I'll open it now, the administrator answered. He in his arms carried the girl to a free number and carefully put it on the sofa. Brother John, thanks, you saved me, she said. He gave her a glass of water to drink. What did you do there? He asked. My neighbors in the room said that they want to invite me to dinner. But when I came to the room, I found that this man was there too. I was going to leave, but he said that I needed to drink a glass of juice before leaving, and after that, my head was spinning. Obviously, something mixed in your glass of juice. Why did you drink it at all? Asked Jan Chen. It's outrageous. I'm calling the police right now, the girl said. Yes, we cannot allow the bad guys to leave unpunished. Yan Chen supported her. After a few minutes, the police car was near the front door into this room. This time, Zhang Hanji doesn't get off so simply. Jan Chen thought and helped the girl to go to the police car so that she would come to the station and draw up an application for this bandit. After some time, Jan Chen had already returned to his villa, but when he approached his house, he was slightly surprised, as Aunt Lan was waiting for him. Aunt Lan, what are you doing here? He asked politely. Oh, Mr. Yang, you finally returned, she said. My hostess would like to invite you to a cup of tea is interesting. Do you agree to such an offer? She asked. Thanks for your invitation, but I'm tired today. Let's another time. I will be free tomorrow night, so I hope you will come to me for dinner, answered Yang. You realized what he had just done. His neighbor had just invited her to tea. He refused her, and instead invited him to his dinner the next day. Here is a cunning. He clearly conceived something. Fine. Then I will prepare some dishes to come tomorrow. Aunt Lan, take care of yourself. He politely said goodbye. In the next villa, a small clarification of relations began. Aunt Lan, didn't I ask you to invite him to us? The hostess asked. Miss, sorry, but he said that he was very tired today and wants to go to bed early. The assistant answered. For tomorrow night, he invited us to his home for dinner, the assistant added. Many people in the district want to have dinner with me, but he is the only one who refuses my invitation. Miss Big Tits was surprised. Well, let's pay him a visit tomorrow, added Miss Big Tits. She still agreed, but his invitation. The phone rang. The girl Zhao Yun from the police station called. Brother Yang, the police said that my neighbor was doing this, but this bastard clearly persuaded her. This could have happened due to the lack of evidence. Be more careful in the future. I will find a way to deal with this bastard, answered Yang. The next day, he came to the indicated place to pick up his new passengers. Hello. Passengers, please fasten the seatbelts. Out of habit, he said to his passengers. Instead, the guy with purple hair that sat on the front chair decided to do something very terrible. Namely, he took off his shoes. And the luxurious salon of the luxury car was filled with aroma of smelly trash. Cheese, please put on shoes, sit down properly, and remember the safety. Jan Chen was very surprised by such an act of his passenger. I feel very tired and I want to take a nap a little. Why does an ordinary taxi driver have so many rules? The passenger with smelly legs asked. Sir, if you do not wear shoes, I will be forced to ask you to get out of the car. Patience by Jan Chen, like fresh air in the car, came to an end. If you continue to behave in this way, then you will receive a negative review. The passenger with smelly legs said. Do you intend to look for troubles? The girl asked him indignantly. A person working in the field of service is inappropriate to complain about the smell of the legs of his passengers. She added, You called the driver, not masseurs. I'm not going to endure the smell of your feet. Either give shoes and I will continue to take you to your destination, or you can go now and call another car, answered Jan Chen. I'm not going to go out, and you can't do anything about it. The impudent with smelly legs answered. He still had the arrogance of putting his foot on his leg. Jan Chen did not intend to endure it further. He got out of the car and opened the door of a stinking passenger. With a light movement of his hand, he grabbed his elbow and threw him out of the car right on the street. "What the hell are you doing?" The passenger with smelly legs was surprised. "Help! Someone! Please! Call to the rescue!" The passenger girl began to scream. "Help! This driver verbally insults us. He even hit my boyfriend. Can anyone restore justice?" She continued to be indignant. A few onlookers have already gathered around the car. "This is slander." This man took off his shoes as soon as he got into my car. I told him to put on her, but he heard a refusal. I had to ask them to leave my car. Poorly added by Jan Chen. "What does it stink so much?" The people who came to the cries for help were surprised. This passenger has no good manners since he does this in such a luxurious car. This guy is too arrogant. The discussions began with people who came to the rescue. "What luxurious car are you talking about?" "This is an ordinary car," the guy said with smelly legs. "Here the devil, is it really an expensive car?" The guy with smelly legs drew attention to the taxi car that arrived by his order. "What happened, dear? Is this car really expensive?" the girl asked him. "This luxurious car is its cost of $1 million. This guy must be a wealthy person." "We got into trouble," added a stink. What? What are you saying? This cannot be." She was surprised. "Handsome, we are really very sorry. Can you forgive us?" "What about the apology? I treated you to food," she said. "Red-haired girl, what do you want to say that?" the stinky asked loudly. "I want to treat him with food and apologize. You can return without me," she added. "What? What the hell? What are you saying?" She continued to be indignant. "Have you heard me? I told you to leave. You have never listened to me since we were children, so annoying. Now fall off from me," she added. "Miss, since you are familiar, could you remove his boots?" he politely asked. "Well, wait for a handsome man. Now I will get them," she answered. Jan Chen opened the car door, and the red-haired girl threw a smelly boot out of the car. "Done. Let's go. I will treat you with dinner." She immediately sat in the front seat, and she was already ready to go. "Thank you for your kind words. Wonderful ladies," he added, and carefully closed the door. "Sorry, but the rear-view camera of my car was a little dusty. Could you go out and wipe it?" Jan Chen politely asked. "I think you already guessed why he asked this. Write in the comments what you think about this." "Of course. Wait, I will now get out of the car to wipe it." A girl with red hair answered joyfully. As soon as she went out and went to the rear-view camera, the car immediately went forward, leaving the girl on the street. "Wait! I haven't got into the car yet. My handbag remained there," the girl shouted. But Jan Chen was a real gentleman. According to such trifles, he did not stop the car. With a light movement of his hand, he threw his bag out the window. "Ha ha ha! I wanted to be with a rich guy. And he threw you!" The guy with smelly legs was delighted. "Oh, you are a moron. Get a twisted and juicy blow to the right." And a girl with red hair instantly did it. "Don't you understand why I did this?" she asked with surprise. "What are you talking about?" The stink was surprised. "You insulted him in the car. If everything worked out for me, then he would forgive us, as you do not understand this," the girl said indignantly. "Sorry, this is all my fault. I misunderstood you." The stink decided to correct the situation. "If you really want to cheer me up, then leave him a bad review and give a complaint," she suggested. "Well, I will do so. I will leave him a bad review and give a complaint," Stoney agreed. Immediately after this order, Jan Chen was forced to go for dry cleaning of the car, since it was impossible to drive in a car with such a smell. "A new notice has come. You received a new bad review and complaint." I saw Jan Chen. "Congratulations to the owner of us by receiving a bad review. The system rewards the owner of 32% of the share at the Boatson Hotel and in cash of $5 million, which makes you the second largest shareholder of the company. Please remember that you need to contact the main office of the hotel in order to get all the necessary documents." System, what are you wonderful? Your awards can compensate for which I receive because of smelly legs, Ian Chen asked immediately. At that moment, a message came from a girl under the name Van Lixen. "Yan Chen. Tomorrow at noon, you have to come to the Baochin Hotel, number 308. What a coincidence. I was lucky again. Yang Chen was delighted. Immediately after the dry cleaning of the car, he returned to his villa. Upon arrival at his home, he met two cooks who had already expected him. "What are you doing here?" He was surprised when he got out of his car. "You are Mr. Yang, right? We are here by order of Miss Xue and wait for your return. Tonight we will prepare a luxurious dinner for you and Miss Xue." The main cook answered. "Well, Then you need to prepare the dishes in the kitchen, added by Jan Chen. Wow, these plates and saucers are so refined. Is this all antiques? Oh, the best chefs use such knives. They were delighted. Be careful. Do not damage anything of these things. These plates and saucers look fragile. If something breaks up or breaks, it will be a disaster. Noticed the chef. All the cooks, please be concentrated and attentive, the chef ordered. Yes, sir, they answered in chorus. Here, who enjoys such high respect for Monsieur, must be an unusual person. I will not even dare to use this gold crane. If at least a grain of golden dust is erased, whether the boss blame me. Chef, do you need something else? I can go and buy it right now, added by Jan Chen. Mr. Yang, do not worry. We have enough products. You just have to wait for us to cook everything, the chef answered politely. Thanks for your hard work, he thanked. Not at all, Mr. Yang, added the cook. Jan Chen finished all preparations for the long-awaited dinner and went to meet his guests. Someone knocked on his door. Miss Big Tits, Aunt Lan, welcome to my modest dwelling. Your presence gives my house a magnificent look. He was politely greeted. It is a great honor for me to be a guest in Mr. Jan Chen's house, Miss Big Tits answered joyfully. I thought this Aunt Lan came to cook something, but did not expect Miss Xue to be so serious and invite cooks. Added by Jan Chen. They are a cook in our hotel, and I used their services for a while. Mr. Yang, do not pay attention to them, added Miss Xue. If these paintings were genuine, then each of them could cost several million. Such paintings should be unimaginable monetary condition, Miss Xue thought. Jan Chen opened a bottle of red wine and immediately filled the glasses of the girls. Please sit down. Let's drink. He politely invited the girls at the table. I wonder what food do you like? Miss Xue asked. I'm afraid that Miss Xue will laugh at me, but in my youth I never had such exquisite dishes. Jan Chen modestly answered. Honestly, this is one of the best dishes that I have eaten since I graduated from the university. Added by Jan Chen. It seems that he is a really rich guy from a mysterious family who used to live well at home, and then left to experience a poor life, Miss Big Boobs thought. What cars do you like? Miss Big Tits decided to support the conversation. I am a big fan of sports cars, Ian Chen immediately answered. But now, I drank this tasty wine, and a little drunk, so I'm not able to drive a car now, he added. It is like the plot of a novel, at the end of which he will return to his home to inherit the family condition. Miss thought Big Boobs. Mr. Yang, try this dish. It is so tasty, she suggested. Jan Chen carefully cut off a piece. Crushing outside and tender inside, the ideal degree of frying, this dish is really delicious. After 1 hour, all the guests were very full. Phew, I overshadowed, someone said. And now, when you eat, let's take a walk. Miss suggested Big Boobs. Okay, I do not mind. Went. Agreed by Jan Chen. The daytime heat had already passed a little, and the street was pleasant sunny weather. In the park in which they walked, a light breeze blew. Hey, bastard! You really are unlucky! The male voice next to them shouted. I thought that after that day, we will not see each other anymore. The same guy added with a baseball bat. Who are you? And how did you get here? Get out now! Monsieur was indignant. This girl is pretty. Beauty. I have a personal conflict with this guy. I don't want to get you, he answered. You better go aside and do not get confused under my feet, he added. Does this guy really not know that Mr. Yang is from an influential family? Miss Xue was surprised. Damn it! Get out of here and do not bother me to walk with Mr. Yan. She was outraged by this situation. Miss, I think you are beautiful and do not want to hurt you. But if you interfere, you can suffer, he added, threatening a baseball bat. You damaged my car. I was going to find you anyway. You count on your father's company. But if everything goes to dust, do you have nothing to rely on correctly? Asked Jan Chen. You are right that I rely on my father, and you can't do anything about it. The bandit laughed. Brothers, kill him! He shouted his assistant, and they rushed at him from all sides with baseball bats. After a moment, Jan Chen used his signature blow, a juicy and twisted blow with his right hand. The bandits began to fly apart like skittles in a bowling alley. Oh my god, he's so strong, and his skills in martial arts. Miss Big Tits were surprised when she saw the bandits began to fall to the ground. Do not come to me. You will not dare to hit me. Otherwise my father will destroy you, he said in fright. How do you still dare to threaten me? Jan Chen was indignant, and he delivered his branded blow, a juicy and twisted blow with his right hand. How dared to hit me? Bastard. Even my father never beat me. It's all over for you. You are already a corpse. He continued to scream with tears in his eyes. Ha ha ha. I have not finished with you yet. Why are you scared? Did you really get wet your pants? Added by Jian Chen. And he delivered his branded blow again. A juicy and twisted blow, only this time with his left hand. Please stop, I can die from such blows. He prayed for mercy. Please, I realized my mistake. Forgive me. He got up to ask. Get out of here, I don't want to see you anymore, Jian Chen sternly answered. The beaten bandits picked up this bastard and ran away from Jian Chen. Mister, your martial arts skills are great. Could you say who we're trained from? Asked Miss Big Boobs. I can't tell her that I get them from the system. You need to come up with something. Oh, there's been so much time since I had the last time I saw my teacher, he added. Oh, this is really regrettable. If fate allows, I am sure you will have a chance to meet again in the future. Mr. Yang, what will you do with this guy and the company of his father? Miss Shui asked. At the moment, I'm not sure what to do with them, but very little time will pass before I have a way. He answered. It must have been because he is still gaining experience, so he cannot use the power in the family to destroy the company. Yaov, she thought. Mr. Yang, I can help you with this problem, as a sign of our friendship and the fact that they protected me from these bandits. How do you like my proposal? She asked. I will be grateful to you and I will definitely pay for in the future, Yan Chen added joyfully. Ha ha ha, Mr. Yang, you do not have to be so polite, since we friends help each other naturally. I will take care that you very soon see the fall of the company. Yaov! Miss Shu said joyfully. Recently, I managed to purchase 32% of the shares of the Baoqin restaurant. When you will be free, I would like to invite you to try their dishes. He suggested by Jian Chen. With pleasure. I will make you make up a company to have dinner in a luxurious Baoqin restaurant. She said, with the return, Miss, and the assistant carefully put her homemade shoes. How was your walk with Mr. Jian Chen? She asked. Now it is quite obvious to me that Mr. Yang, the son of a secret family, engaged in martial arts. He alone laid 12 people in 1 minute, told Miss Xue. Oh yes, immediately start the investigation against Yav. Find all the information about all other companies that invest them. I want this company to go bankrupt as soon as possible, she added. I realized that I immediately start working on this issue, her assistant answered. The next day, everyone has already gathered in the Baoqin restaurant. Classmates have already gathered. Why did Jian Chen still have not appeared? The man asked rudely. I sent him a few messages, but he did not answer them. She answered. If Jian Chen does not appear, then I will not pay for this dinner. Let your classmates share the score with each other. The rude man added. You can't do that, the girl said. Lixin, what is happening here? Her friend asked. Have you quarreled? Asked the guy with glasses. He said that he would not pay for us if Jian Chen does not appear. Why don't we transfer the meeting? She said. Wait, Van Lixin, what do you mean? You invited us here and now you want us to leave? The guy with glasses was surprised. No one forced you to treat us, but since you yourself offered this, you should definitely bring the matter to the end. Or do you think that we cannot pay for ourselves? Her friend asked. It's all because of you. Now they consider me a bad person, and she attacked this man with fists.